So I think we're all connected now. I'm Charlie, I work for Ideal Homes, and today we're going to be showing you the West Algarve, a couple of developments. We're going to tour you around Lagos. If you don't want to be included in the YouTube video, please keep your video and audio off. We're going to go from John to Sasha to Megan to Sarah and then Cristina, and then afterwards we're going to do a Q&A. So if you have any questions, just write them in the chat and then we will get to them afterwards. So I'm going to put you through to Angela now.
Hi everybody, welcome to the webinar, and today is Portugal Day. So today everybody is celebrating, and the Portuguese are very, they enjoy a party, they enjoy a festival, so they'll all be out with the families today having fun. So we're going to show you a bit of that as well. Hopefully we'll see some out and about. So yes, today we're going to talk with John. John's in Ancora in a development, so he's going to tell you all about that. We will then go into actually Lagos and you'll see what's happening there today. Following that, Megan's going to talk to you about rentals, and then John's going to scoot over from the Ancora to A-Dega, and then we're going to go back to John and he'll show you another product that's available right now. There will be time for you to type in for questions and we'll address them towards the end. So first of all, John, would you like to tell us all about Ancora?
Hi, yeah, I'm sitting over in the west in Lagos at the moment in Ancora. Fabulous development. It's just really now finished. There's a couple of units left. I'm sitting comfortably in the showroom, show house, as I say, right now, looking out, blue skies, sunshine. What could be better? Idea of today is to show you the developer. One of the developers we use in Lagos is they've been in business for 30 years, Portuguese family-run company, passionate about the building, the quality, everything about what I'm going to use. And A-Dega, which I'll shoot over to their building at the moment in Lagos, right by the marina. That's the building site at the moment. So this is finished, as I said, and it will just show you the quality of the fitments here to what will be in A-Dega, the development over there. So what I'll do now is I'll just switch my phone over to show you the show house as we speak, and just bear with me 2 seconds and I'll tour you around. Now, when I say about the fitments in Ancora, this is a 3-bedroom, sorry, I tell a lie, it's a 4-bedroom show house apartment, still available, and it's on the ground floor. The kitchens are all fully fitted. And when I say fully fitted, we're talking about granite worktops all through. Island site with cable management. So cable management pops up literally like that. So you can plug all your items into there and work on the work surface. Bosch equipment, oven, microwave, fridge, freezers, induction hobs, not ceramic, induction hobs, dishwasher, washing machine, and as I say, fully fitted cupboards all the way throughout. The other feature about these apartments is they have air conditioning which is ducted. Now that's very useful because when you look at ducted air conditioning, you don't see any units at all. They're all hidden away. Music system, sound system, all included, built into the ceilings. Electric blinds that come down. Obviously the electric's not on at the show apartment, so I can't actually manually show you that, but the blind up there literally comes down. Very large outside terracing, both at the front and at the back. And when I say outside terracing, it is really, really big. It's a small development, only 2-story high, so it's very nice. And the bedrooms all face onto the back of the actual garden, which is a private enclosed. And I'll show you first of all one of the bedrooms here. This is like a master ensuite with fully fitted wardrobes, sliding door wardrobes, ducted air conditioning up there, and then the bathrooms, I'm afraid there's no light in here, but then we can just get a rough idea. Fully fitted, beautiful porcelain fitments. And the other thing about this builder, he does underfloor heating, and underfloor heating goes through all the properties, but they're not electric, it's water cooled. Great for the winter, just to take the chill off every now and then. And when I say this is a ground floor, this is what you look out onto. Bearing in mind this is brand new, it's just been finished, even the gardens, and a large outside terrace, beautiful blue skies. Not sure where you are today, but this is all yours. And as I say, all the bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, come off onto this terrace. As you say, I can walk along here. This is all the outside space. So you've got front terraces and back terraces, beautiful gardens. And then in a minute, I'll walk down and show you the pool. But let's go back inside, just finish off showing you the quality of the rooms. And then there is, as I said, one on the ground floor, this one for sale. And it's on at €475, which is a great price for a 4-bedroom ground floor apartment with these fitments. The first floor one is $455. Obviously has a large balcony terrace upstairs. This is the bedroom of 2nd bedroom with fully fitted wardrobes. And then we go back into the lounge, dining, kitchen, open plan kitchen area. Around the corner to another house bathroom, again fully fitted, everything's included. And then that bedroom there serves that bathroom, and again looks out onto the gardens. And then back into another, the 4th bedroom, which is still an ensuite. So you've got an ensuite to that one, an outside terrace to sit out and catch the sun rays where you want to catch the sun. So just to recap, 4 bedrooms, 2 ensuites, 1 house bathroom, fully fitted kitchen, lounge, large front terrace, private gardens, rear terrace and gardens, everything you want. And as I say, the developer really does do everything beautifully. It's finished off. So when you'll join me later on at A-Dega, try and get the imagination of this and that finished article. Let me walk you down to the pool very quickly, then I'll hand you back to Angela, and then I'll scoot off in my little car down to the centre of Lagos. Oh, by the way, this development is 5 minutes from the beach near Praia Ana, famous beach Praia Ana. You are 5 minutes into Lagos town centre. And now we're outside, as you can see, walking down past other ground floor finished properties. They've all been sold, all those. You've got your own gated entrance here. Literally, that's your gated entrance. There's your outside terrace privately. And then you go down here. And if you could smell the flowers, I can just smell wild garlic at the moment. It's beautiful. Bougainvillea, wisteria, oleander, everything. It's all planted. And then we come down to the private pool area. And there, who would not like to sit on a sunbed, soaking up the sun with a terrace like that? That's literally the pool. There's 2 pools here, and this pool will serve this block, and there's another pool for the other block. And that's the outside areas, and this is the development. Now what I'll do is I'll hand you back to Angela. I've rattled on a bit, and I'll catch you a bit later at the other development at A-Dega, and I'll join you a bit later. So back to you, Angela.
Thank you, John. Very nice property there. So John's now going to scoot off to another one, and in the meanwhile, we're going to see Sarah, and Sarah's actually in where this property is. Hi, Sarah.
Sarah, you're muted.
Hi.
So,
I'm just down at Posh Marina, just enjoying some sunshine after a day. Checking in some guests today. As you can see, it's quite busy. Plenty of people sort of move around on the bank holiday weekend, in the sun and the sunshine of the marina here in Lagos.
Sarah, are you finding it busy today then? Has it been Portugal Day or is it quiet?
Sorry, Angela, I didn't catch that.
I don't know what's going on with the audio. Is it busy today? Obviously it's Portugal Day, but I think most people are at the beaches, aren't they?
Yeah, there's quite a few here down the marina today, but we've also had quite a arrival stay here in August. So a lot of people have come down and beach today, and obviously the sunshine because it's a really beautiful day, and the temperatures are really nice because obviously we're in the middle of June now, so we're well into the sort of late 20s and mid 30s. And obviously the marina is the place to kind of be for food, bars and restaurants, so that's where people are now enjoying the sun, and obviously it's just about to get into time for people to eat.
So obviously we're going to pass over to Megan in a little bit for rentals, but obviously you're the person that has to check in all the clients in Lagos, and you are full. You're really busy already, aren't you? What are the kind of clients that you're checking in? What are they like?
A mix. I mean, I check into both apartments and villas down here in Lagos. Obviously, we contact the guests in advance of arrival and show the arrivals on a daily basis when they do arrive. We like to meet and greet all the guests, so obviously it's nice to kind of know who's in the apartment so that we can make sure the property owners are comfortable with the people that are checking in, and we meet them and greet them, which is great for customer service. And then also obviously it means that they've got a face that they can turn to when they check in. Is any thing that they would like to ask us, we answer questions on arrival, and then we're their contact during their stay. So yeah, it's really a really lovely job to meet and greet people on holiday. Everyone was in a really great mood because they're about to start their holiday and enjoy it. So it's a really nice place to be.
Okay, so I thought I'd come join Charlie because my mic's not working very well. So thank you, Sarah. It's I missed a little bit of that, but carry on.
So what is there to do in the Lagos area?
We have some beautiful beaches down here in Lagos. We have Donna Ana, Maya Praia, Porto de Mos Beach, and then we also have A-Dega, where there's some beautiful cliffs, walks, and caves to explore. From the marina, there's some boat trips that you can do on a daily basis that take you under the caves and have a look around there. We're also quite close to the shopping centre at Portimao, only 20 minutes down the road. And we have also lots of things for children here. We have the Lagos Zoo, and we also have some of the other tourist things to do here, like see the dolphins off the coast on the boat trips. So there's quite a lot to do in Lagos. And the nightlife in Lagos is also really, really busy with lots of bars and restaurants for people to enjoy, both late and early.
Okay, thank you. Angela's just going to tell us a little bit about the mortgages that you can get in Ancora just for that development.
Okay, so the one that John's just been in just now. So we're looking at a property value of 475, for instance. This is what we're going to base the mortgage on. So your mortgage would be, you can have over 30 years. So we're going to base it on 30 years. You can have up to 40 years, depending on your age. You have to pay by the time you're 75 to 80, depending on the bank. So you'd put a down payment on that of 30%, which would be 142,500. And then you would get the rest on the mortgage. The interest rate would be around the 1.2%. It can change, but it is a very easy one to get a 1.2. Some people can get 1, some people get a little above. It depends on your circumstances. And that is for, it doesn't go up and down. It's not like today it happens to be good at 1.2%. It does generally stay consistent, and we would expect it to be 1.2% next year as well. And the interest, so that's the interest rate, and your payments will be about 1,100 a month on that. So that's a little bit about getting a mortgage, and we're going to speak to Megan as well. So Megan, can I tell you about what kind of rental income you can get on that?
Hi everyone. So you're going to be looking at 2 different places today. So you've already seen the Ancora development, and you're also going to see the A-Dega, which is where John's on his way to now. Now both of these would be priced very similarly for rentals because the set out of them and the interiors are on par with each other. So for a standard 2-bedroom, one of these apartments, you'd be looking at around 1,350 to 1,400 a week in the high season. and around 600 per week in the winter. And throughout the year, then that would vary. And for a 3-bedroom apartment in either of those blocks, you'd be looking at around 18 to 1900 a week in the summer, and around 900 to 1,000 euros a week in the winter. So that gives you a bit of an idea of just how much you can earn from renting. I mean, some people choose to rent all year round, which Lagos is the best place for, or some would just prefer to rent for 8 to 10 weeks in the summer. It's completely up to you, but Lagos is a very, very good place for rental investment, and we get tourists all year round. Even now, in a time like this, as Sarah said, she's been out all day today doing check-ins. At the moment, we're receiving a lot of Portuguese nationals coming down from the north of Portugal. This week we have bank holidays here, so a lot of those people are coming down to spend their bank holiday weekend in the Algarve, because why wouldn't they? It's the best place in Portugal. So yeah, we're very busy. We're staying busy, especially in Lagos, but across the whole Algarve. But if you're looking at purely rental investment properties, these are some of the best. We've got about 20 coming on board from these developments so far, and we've just finished furnishing them and getting their rental licenses, and they'll all be going live on our websites within the next few weeks. So it's a really exciting time, and I think you should be a part of it if you're looking for somewhere that's a really good rental investment. If you've got any questions about the rental investment, Charlie will put my email and phone number in the chat. I'm happy to answer any questions from the rental side of things, because I know it's a lot of information to take in at once, but we're here to help you. So let me know if you'd like any more info or more in-depth conversation about that, and I'll be happy to answer your question.
Thanks, Megan. I'm going to pass you over to Sasha now, because Sasha's an expert on Ancora and Adega. We're just wondering if you could talk a little bit about the Golden Visa.
Yes, sure. So normally in Portugal, the value they need to spend to get a Golden Visa is 500,000 euros. And it's not relating to any specific development, it's just the value. However, the Algarve has been designated a low density zone, and therefore there is a 20% discount on that value. So for any development, any property in the Algarve, you would only need to spend 400,000 euros in order to get the Golden Visa. It has to be a cash purchase, so it couldn't be on a mortgage. That's basically the way that it works in Portugal. And it's a very simple thing. You guarantee the Golden Visa. All you got to do is spend 400,000 euros on the property. And then with the Golden Visa, that allows you to spend as much time as you want over those 5 years in Portugal and in any country in the Schengen area, which is the majority of the EU plus Switzerland and Iceland. There is a minimum requirement, which is basically a couple of weeks per year for the first 5 years. At the end of those 5 years, you then can automatically become Portuguese citizen and therefore have lifetime access to Portugal and the EU. And it's a very simple program. You know going in exactly what you get at the end. And it's been very successful. We have, at Ideal Homes, have sold quite a few properties for the Golden Visa program, including both in A-Dega and in Ancora. And that's it, basically.
Thank you. Could you tell us a little bit about the condominium in Ancora, just while John gets to A-Dega, and what's managed for you? Because a lot of people come over and they say they want a villa, but then in the end, because it's just easier, because everything's managed, they end up going with an apartment, don't they?
Yes, so the condominium fee hasn't precisely been defined yet, simply because all the units have got to be sold, and then the developers got to get quotes from national condominium companies in order to, and they will come and they will do an assessment of the development and then quote, and then you would decide which condominium company you want to go. but for a typical 3-bedroom property in Ancora or A-Dega, it's likely to be something around €100 per month. So, you know, compared to Northern Europe, compared to the United States, you know, this is, you know, very cheap. And for the condominium fee that you pay, it's basically everything outside your front door. So it'll be, you know, all the electricity, pool maintenance, lift maintenance, gardening, watering. There will be a sinking fund, so every 5 years they'll be repainting the outside. And at the end of each year, the condominium company has to provide you money annual meeting, and you would then approve the budget for the following year. So you're always in control as to what the costs are going to be. It's not going to be dictated to you by some anonymous entity. Yeah.
Thank you. We have a question.
Was there another part of that question, Chan? So go on.
Sorry, we've got a question from Harry. I was just wondering if you could answer this. Can you pay cash, receive the golden visa, and then take equity out on a property to invest in Portugal?
Yes, yes, you could do that. You could do that. I'm not sure of the details, but yes, technically it's possible. Technically it's possible.
Yeah,
I have that question, Charlie.
Yeah.
So hi, I'm Christine. I'm the mortgage advisor for Ideal Homes. You can do equity release on a property, but only 2 years after the purchase. Back to you, Charlie.
Christina, is that is that the same if it's golden visa? We didn't know whether the 5 years of waiting to get your golden visa residency would affect that. So would they be able to do that, do you think, or do you not know and we need to ask Ricardo?
I'm not 100% sure. It's best to ask Ricardo, but I think you can get the golden visa if you pay cash. So you've already done the deed, the property's already in your name. After 2 years, then you can take equity release. But best to confirm with Ricardo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Going back to
Megan, we have a couple of questions for you.
So going back to Ancora, when John was showing it, there was a couple of points that he didn't talk about. But each apartment comes with at least one individual car parking space in the basement, and also a storage room. And if it's a 4-bedroom property, like the one that John showed you, then it comes with 2 car parking spaces. So it's perfect if you are looking at having it as a holiday home and then wanting to rent it out, you can put your personal items in there. And also there is a communal which has got panoramic sea views. And you as a group, for example, can decide that you might want to put a jacuzzi up there and sunbed and sunshades. The space is available to do what you want with it. And in terms of location, it's actually only 5 minutes walk from 2 fantastic beaches. One of them, Donorana, has been voted 4 times the best beach in Europe. So, you know, in terms of location, fantastic. And yet it's sort of in a quiet cul-de-sac. So it's close to busy beaches, but it's actually quiet. And then in terms of location specifically to the historic old town of Lagos, it's just about a 10-12 minute walk. So it's a great location. And in terms, if you're looking at it as an investment, this development, both A-Dega and Ancora, pretty much tick all of what one who's looking to rent a property is looking for. Okay, Charlie?
These apartments aren't on leasehold. They're owned. Yeah. they're freehold. They don't really do many leaseholds in Portugal, do they?
In fact, in Portugal, there is no such thing as leasehold. All properties in Portugal, you get a title deed and they're yours in perpetuity, and there is no inheritance tax in Portugal. So you can pass them on to your heirs and pay zero tax.
Cool.
Also,
So,
there is a 5 years. So go on.
Yeah,
no,
okay.
sorry, I think there's a delay.
Sasha, did you have something?
Oh, I was just going to say that all the properties, as brand new properties, come with a 5-year builder's guarantee. That is part of the law in Portugal, and all the kitchen equipment, air conditioning, etc., has a 2-year warranty. And if you're looking for the golden visa, so for Ancora, it's a development which is ready to go now. There are 2 units left. You can buy now. You can apply for the golden visa now. But for A-Dega, it's sort of half constructed, and it will be completed in summer of next year. Now, you may decide that you actually want the golden visa now. Well, the developer has arranged a facility whereby you can actually pay up front for the whole of the property now, rather than just a percentage now, and then the rest at the end. He will then register the property for you, and then you can apply for the golden visa now, even though the development itself isn't completed till summer of next year. He'll also offer you a bank guarantee on your deposit. If you're talking about Ancora or A-Dega, we'll offer you a bank guarantee on your deposit from the Bank of Portugal. And if you're going to pay up 100% of the money now to get the golden visa now, he'll offer you a bank guarantee for the whole amount. So your money is completely secure, and basically he promised to deliver you the apartment as per the contract by the date specified in that contract. And if he doesn't do that, then you can in effect get. But this developer has been in business for 35 years. It's completely self-funded. It's a family-run business. They've probably built 30% of Lagos, and they have parcels of land all over the place that have been with them for decades. So they have a whole program of construction that they've planned over the next sort of 10 years. So they're not in a situation whereby they need to sell, and because of the current situation with the virus, they're in desperate circumstances, and now suddenly they've got to sell the properties. They are happy to sell as and when someone is interested in buying the properties. And so the construction during these last 3 months has run with no pauses of any kind.
Thanks, Sasha. Sasha, do you want to run over as well what offer we've actually got on those developments at the moment?
Yes, so with Ancora, what John quoted you for the price of 475 for the ground floor one and 455 for the first floor one, that is the price. That's it's a very good price, because this developer, unlike many developers, when they release a development for sale, they have a starting price list, and then as they sell tranches of units, they update the price list and so on and so forth. But in this particular developer, he doesn't do that. He just releases the prices, and then that's what those, and the prices remain what they are. So for the 4-bedroom unit, 475 and 455, this represents very good value for money. Price is. However, having said that, for A-Dega, we do have some special offers. So in recognition of the situation with the virus and the fact that it's a development which is under construction, he is prepared to offer, for a limited time only, a 10% discount off the price list if you purchase a unit. He's able to offer you a 2 years free condominium fee, whatever that might be, but if it's 100 euros a month, that's going to represent 2,400 euros a year. Ideal Homes will offer you a 2 years of rental management, which we can go into details about that later if you're interested in it. The lawyer Ricardo Pica will offer you a discount on his fees. You're able to get a 10% discount on furniture pack from recommended suppliers. We're also able to offer a license for free. Normally that costs something like €1,000, and that's something that you always need to have. You need to have a rental license with a rental license number if you're wanting to rent it out. And we're able to offer that for you for free. It's a real cost, and it's something that Ideal Homes would pay on your behalf. And so there's a whole range of offers there that were not available 3 months ago. So it's a great opportunity to buy at this time before he removes those offers.
Brilliant, thank you, Sasha. Good information there. So we're going to go over to John now, because John is actually there at A-Dega and he can show you the construction there. Thank you, John. Nice to see you again.
You're muted.
Sorry, is that better? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think Sasha's been explaining a little bit more about A-Dega. It's just right literally in the centre of Lagos. As I've just been showing, the marina is literally 100 metres from where I'm speaking right now. So you can step out the door straight onto the marina and you're in the centre of Lagos. There's over 350 restaurants and bars in the old square, the castle grounds. Really great place to be. Now, A-Dega is 65 units. There's 6 blocks. I'm on the 4th floor. There's 2 available apartments on this floor. So you've got the views. Both are 3 bedrooms, slightly different layouts, but overall they are about 140 square meters covered area with very, very large outside terraces. Where I'm standing now, if I just switch the camera over in a second, you'll have a better shot of the terrace. Now, this is the large terrace area. As I said, this goes from the bedrooms right down past the lounge, the kitchen, and then you've got all the views of the marina. So you can sit there in the evening and watch the views over the marina, the twinkling lights and the yachts going in and out. Now, the property itself, obviously it's a building site at the moment, but as I tried to explain about Ancora, everything will be exactly the same as Ancora. It'll be underfloor heating, water cooled all the way through, ducted air conditioning, high quality Bosch equipment, induction hobs, fridge, freezer, washing machine, dishwasher, microwave, sound system built into the walls, the ceilings. You can plug your iPad in, iPhone in, you have your music, and you can have music in different rooms, different stations, whatever you want to do. Now this is the kitchen, open plan, and I don't know if you can get a perspective of this, but it's a very, very large area. So you'll have an island site, kitchen cupboards. Then you've got across there to your dining area, lounge and dining area. And as I say, double fronted windows so you can see the view. That's very important. Now, from here, we lead out into the hallway. You've got 3 bedrooms, remember. This is going to get dark. That's your entrance into, and there's another apartment on the other side in the distance as you see there. Now, from the back of the property, it's got storage rooms. This is like the ensuite to the ensuite there. And this is the bedroom here. from the bedroom onto the terrace with the views again. And then you got two further bedrooms at the back. Now the advantage of these bedrooms at the back, they're actually away from the lounge and dining areas, but they overlook the pool and also the courtyard. Now, obviously the pool's not built yet, but just to give you an example, that's what the pool will be, just there. So you're looking down on the pool, and there'll be a block there, and in the corner, you've even got a fully fitted gymnasium, an indoor heated pool, and a jacuzzi. So that's for all the owners of the property. Now, as a owner, to have a property like this is fantastic, but honestly, for rentals in the centre of Lagos, all these facilities, when this is done next summer, it's going up rapidly. I promise you, it's going to be pretty special. And then you've got distant views of the river over that side, and the hillsides further outside towards Lagos. Now, as I said, the covered areas are approximately on both apartments about the same. They're about 140 square metres. I'll walk you very quickly into the other one and just explain, if you are interested in investing, rentals will give you the figures more on obviously each apartment. It's not the best time to buy. This is the other one. It's almost identical. It's just a slight change. This has got a little bit more, probably visual, because you've got three double glazed windows going in there. So there's a little bit more visual light coming into this one. What I was going to say is the developer has actually said the price of these two properties are 520,000 euros. He will give a 10% discount on this. We will also rentals give you a 2-year rental contract free of charge, and furniture package 10%, a reduction in lawyers' fees. We can send you all these offers on to you, but it's a great time to buy. Just an incentive for a short period of time to get you into something like this. Now, A-Dega has sold a lot already. There's not that many left. That's not a sales pitch, that is true. So to have a 3-bedroom, 4th floor, almost penthouse feel, overlooking the marina in the centre of town in the Algarve is very unusual. I'll be honest to say, if this was in Villamora, 520 would be nearer $1 million. I promise you that. Check it out. So you've got a great development, great developer that builds really well. And what more? You need to get yourself here to the Algarve, and if you've never been to Lagos, very interesting place. It just goes up the hills, into the hills, the castle, fabulous coves, beaches, Maya Beach, the other side of the marina. It really is a great place to be. Now, I'll hand you back to Angela, and if there's any other questions you need, I'm here, or we're all here to help you. Hope I've been very informative and tried to help. Not my forte this, but thank you for watching. All right.
Thank you very much, John. That was very good. Excellent. Well done. And thank you for zooming across Lagos to be able to show us 2 properties. I'm going to pass over to Megan again now, just to see if you can add anything about A-Dega for the rental side of it. Megan?
There we go. Yeah, so the interior is going to be very similar between the 2 blocks, but like John showed you, the location with the A-Dega is amazing. It's right on top of the marina, right on top of the old town in Lagos. It's a very vibrant place to be. So for holiday makers, they love that. They love not needing a car and being able to walk into town, talk to the train station even, and get a train across the Algarve. Be close to all of the bars and restaurants and nightlife, and beaches as well. So it's a really good place for a rental property, and it's nice for you when you want to come over and use it as well. I'm just going to look at some of your questions that you've had. So about the property management fees. So as John and Sasha have explained, if you buy one of the apartments in either of these condominiums at the moment, we're offering 2 years free rental management, which means no upfront fees for you. So you can just start earning money straight away and not have to pay anything out. With that would include your rental license. So that's another cost that you're saving. So that is around €1,000 to set up. Photographs would also be provided for you. So basically you have a setup without needing to fork out a lot of money to start the process. So you just start earning straight away and getting your place booked up. That is a limited time offer though. So that's just while this whole offer is going on for these blocks. Property taxes. So we've just recently filmed a webinar on rental property tax last week. So we can link that for you, or it's on our YouTube channel. And that was with our tax specialist, Louise, from a company we work with, Atlantic Property. But to give you a basic overview, the average rental tax on short-term rentals is around 8%. So you can earn up to €12,000 a year before you pay tax. And then anything you earn after that, you will pay 8% on your rental income. If you were looking to rent long term, you'd be paying 28% tax. So it's 20% more. So that's why short term rentals is a very good way to go here in the Algarve. Just looking through some more of your questions. The 4-bedroom unit you saw in Ancora, that would rent at about $2,000 a week high season, so slightly more than the 3-bedroom. But I don't think there's many of those left. So if you were interested in that one, you should get in touch as soon as possible. But there are more options available now in the A-Dega, which is the one that John's at now, by the marina. If you find one that you really like, a property, then I can always have a conversation with you and tell you exactly the rental estimate for that property. It's not a problem. Let's have a look if there's any more questions. I think that's it for me. I can see somebody's asked what year was the building built. If you're talking about A-Dega, obviously that's being built now. Ancora has just been finished recently, so these are brand new apartments. And now I'm going to hand back to you, Charlie.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, just something to add as well, which Sasha might be able to help on this one. I would imagine with A-Dega, they can pick their own finishings as well.
Yes. At this stage they could. There's a default set of finishings, but you would need to use the supplier that they're using. But if you wanted to change the color scheme and various finishes, you can do that. All that would happen is that you would meet the developer and then go to a supplier and then pick and choose. Providing the materials were of the same cost as the ones that he was planning on using, then there is no extra cost. If you happen to want to spend a little bit more money on a particular product, then you'll just simply pay the difference.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, but at this stage, that's possible. Also, there are quite a few units that have been sold, but there are still quite a few units which are still available. And I think that the starting price is around, for a 2-bedroom, is I think around 380,000 euros, up to, I think the top price is around the 520, 540,000. So that's the sort of kind of range that we're talking about. I mean, I see some other questions here about a lift, for example. Yes, each block has its own lift, which will take you to from the basement, where you have an individual car parking space and a storage room, all the way up to the 5th floor. If you're looking at blocks 1, 2, 3, and 4, blocks 5, 6, and 7 have less floors. In any case, lifts throughout. And also each block has a communal rooftop terrace with panoramic sea views, especially in blocks 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there you could have sunbeds. There's no point in having a jacuzzi, because you've already got a jacuzzi in the spa. In terms of rental income, because of the spa, you're going to be generating quite a few winter weeks that you might not otherwise get, simply because you've got the facilities of an indoor heated pool. I see some other questions here. So, is the golden visa for an individual or a couple? It is for a couple and their dependents. Dependents is basically someone who is living in your household and is financially dependent upon you. So that's the golden visa is.
Actually, what do you want to do as a little mortgage
What will be going
calculation for A-Dega?
Yeah, let me just throw it up on my computer.
It's fine. We've got it, but he's not.
All right.
That was-
Okay, sorry, I thought you could see it. I can go. Do you want me to do it?
No, I've got it here. I've got it here.
Okay.
I've got it here. So for A-Dega, for the property that that John showed you, now this quote is basically at the unnegotiated price. So you're not really buying it at 520,000. You're buying it for 10% less. But nevertheless, over a 30-year period, at an interest rate of 1.2%, where you're putting 30% down, which is effectively 156,000 euros, you'll be paying a monthly sum of 1,204 euros. And you can select in Portugal. So this is a variable interest rate mortgage, but the interest rate really varies by a minuscule amount from each year. So you can be sure that 1.2% is pretty much what it's going to be like for the foreseeable future. But if you wanted to, you could go for a fixed interest rate mortgage, but your interest rate would be a little bit higher, a little bit of a penalty for that. You can repay early any amount that you want with a very small penalty on the early repayment.
Has anybody else got anything to add?
Someone said here, I don't know if we've answered this question already, but I assume how long is the lease? Well, all properties are freehold, so that doesn't apply.
Okay. If no one else has got any questions, just to let you know, me and Renee will be going through everyone who joined or inquired, and we'll be sending you an email or calling you to get in touch with you. If you want to buy a unit, we'll ask you which one. If you need any more information, or you want to speak to Megan or Cristina or Sasha or anyone, then we will call you and email you. Could you just answer Tom with what date will A-Dega deliver?
Say again. What day will it be delivered?
Yeah.
Early summer of 2021.
Okay.
Okay, is that the original day, Sasha? I know we've had a few people asking if it's been delayed at all through COVID, or whether it's still on the same day.
No. I mean, it hasn't been delayed at all. Construction has continued throughout the last 3 or 4 months. There's not been any delay, and historically, the developer, delivers properties, on the dates that he's defined in the contract. So, I'm not sure specifically. I mean, I know it's early summer, but I'm sure in the contract will be a very specific date, and he will not be putting in a date there which he cannot deliver the property to you, because in effect he's breaking the contract if he doesn't deliver the property to you on that date. So he's got to be sure that he's delivering you the property by that date. And we've sold from this developer, I don't know, in the last 4 years, maybe 100 units, and really everything is pretty much on time, if not early.
Excellent, thank you, Sasha. Someone's asking, is there any one beds left? Was there any one beds in there?
One beds, and no, there are no one beds. There are no one beds.
Okay. Okay.
Obviously, going forward, If you, any of you are interested in knowing further details, then obviously what Charlie will be able to do is, allocate one of us, John, myself, or a couple of our colleagues, and then we can go through, everything in fine detail and discuss specific units that you think might be interested, in, depending upon what your budget is. We can go there and do, one-on-one sessions, filming that unit, describing that, sending you over, a list of finishings and so on, floor plans, etc., so that you, receive all the information that you need in order to be able to make an informed decision. Yeah, there's another question here. As I see, there's another question here about Golden Visa and then HR scheme. They're completely different schemes. One is relating to being able to come and live in Portugal and have access to the Schengen area. The other one is really about tax benefits. You can have one or the other or both. The NHR scheme is about, being able to reduce your, the taxes that you would pay, because you're effectively becoming a resident of Portugal and removing your residency from wherever you have it right now. But in terms of specific details about that, the lawyer Ricardo Pica obviously can give you all the information that you need.
Thank you, Sasha. Thank you,
okay,
Sasha.
There's another question here. How does the financing work for a property that won't be delivered until next year? So the way it would work is that once you've selected a property that you like and that you want to purchase in principle, then what would happen is we would get you'd fill out a small inquiry form, and we'd send that over to a number of banks, and then they would give you a mortgage in principle. It won't be a formal mortgage, it'll be a mortgage in principle. They'll look at your finances and say, yeah, based on the information you provided us, we're very happy to lend you the money. So when you know that, then you can have confidence to proceed with the purchase. So you would then put down your deposit. When the property is completed, at that stage, what the bank will then, so at that stage that you'll then need to send to us, through Cristina, our mortgage department, all of your financial information for them to deliver it to the bank, for them to give you a formal mortgage approval. Once that has happened, then the bank comes and values the apartment, because they're lending you the money that you've asked for based on their independent valuation of the property. Having said that, historically, all of the units that the developer is selling to people are, usually valued less than the actual valuation of the bank. So you shouldn't have any problem with that. And it's a very simple process. Yes, am I correct in thinking that the rental income does not count towards your own income for mortgage purposes? That's correct. When you are requesting a mortgage, they're going to look at your current earnings, wherever you might live, and then not taking into account whatsoever the rental income that you might be generating in the future from your property. How far away is the development from Faro Airport? Well, we've got a motorway, the A22, which runs across the whole of the Algarve. So it's a very easy journey from the airport to Lagos, and it's about 50 to 55 minutes on the motorway. The motorway is never busy, so it's, you could basically within a minute or two always know the time that you're going to be arriving in Lagos. And Lagos is a very popular holiday destination, and people looking for second homes, because it's the historic center of the Algarve. It's over 1,000 years old. There's an old, central part, which is lots of cobbled streets and lots of cafes and restaurants and so on. Lots of museums. The the slaves, it was the gateway to the slave trade into Europe. So it's a town which has lots of history, and hence you know, it's very, very popular, not just during the summer months, but off season as well, because there's lots to do. So you tend to have sort of younger families coming in the summertime, obviously for the summer holidays, but in spring and autumn and winter time, you're having a more mature type of client.
Thank you, Sasha. Yes, I do believe as well there's not that many hotels, is there? And that's why the rentals on the apartment is so good.
Absolutely.
So much demand.
And another thing that's also important to remember is that the amount of sort of supply of new builds in the Algarve is really quite limited. And in Lagos, there really isn't anything which you know, is ready to be delivered, almost nothing which is ready to be delivered now to someone, which is being built and completed and still unsold. Generally speaking, the market has been hot enough that people are having to resort to buying something off plan to get what it is that they want.
Okay,
so
thanks.
that's the kind of market that we have in Lagos.
Brilliant, thank you, Sasha. Have we got John wanting to join back in? You have to unmute. There you go.
That's better. Just say thank you. I hope we've been helpful. It's hard to get a proper judgment on a building site, but I promise you, this will be special. It will be nice. Its location is great. The one thing I didn't mention was underneath all this will be shops and little cafes. So, you know, it's even better. It's got everything going for it. So seriously consider, seriously. And I think Sasha's filled in with most of the things. But any questions, fire away from anybody.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. I think that's about us done. I think we've answered most of the questions, and if anybody's got any more questions, Charlie and Rennie will be contacting you anyway to make sure that you get them all answered.
And then we'll pass you to a consultant.
Yes, and the consultants will be there as well, so that if you're seriously wanting to have a look at these, like Sasha said, virtual tours, anything at all, we can do that for you. So we'll just catch up with you, make sure we get everything right that's suitable for you, and we'll see you again at the next webinar. And the next one we'll do probably central next, I think, and show you a bit of the central of the Algarve. But have fun and see you soon. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.